kind of the main storyline has been the All-Star. Damian Lillard getting the nod, the third of his career.
Yep.
Just your guys' overall thoughts on him getting the nod this year.
Well deserved.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he's he does things only a handful of other guys in the league do, and I think the fact that the Blazers had a winning record and maybe some of that. I don't want to say griping, but getting attention to the fact that he'd been snubbed the previous 2 years, maybe that helped a little bit in terms of, players and coaches recognizing him this year, but it's still nevertheless earned and well-deserved.
Yeah, he definitely deserved it this year, and more than he did the past 2 years, though. I still think that he was an all-star the past 2 years, with the way he plays, even though the Blazers' record wasn't very good. I'd like the NBA to push those rosters to 15 on each side. Because there's players who are deserving, who should be all-stars, who should have that on their resume at the end of their career, that don't because there's just not enough spots. And so I would like to see the NBA do that. As much as you might not like what Russell Westbrook said, he's right. Paul George should be an all-star. There's no reason for him not to be. And you shouldn't have to do that at the expense of someone like Damian Lillard or the expense of 4 Warriors making it on the team. They should just expand the All-Star roster.
So let's talk about that. Russell Westbrook's comments, defending his teammate Paul George, who he believes should have been in, just like Jared does. And Westbrook said, you've got guys complaining about getting snubbed until they get in. You've got guys just talking about it all the time. But the guys that deserve it should be in, are not. Lillard responded by saying he respects Westbrook, so he was disappointed to see what he said, but he earns his spot on the All-Star team. So does Westbrook have a point in all of this?
I think they both have points. I mean, Jared is right. Paul George this year has been an all-star type player. It's just the West. If he was in the East, he would be an all-star. He might even be a starter on the Eastern Conference All-Star team. But the West has so many good players right now that it's not fair, that the West is so lopsided in terms of talent right now. But that's just the way it is for Paul George. So Russell Westbrook, he's sticking up for his guy, a guy he wants to stick around in Oklahoma City more than just this year. So he's doing the right thing. And Dame's doing the right thing, holding his ground and, saying, hey, I respect him, but I humbly disagree.
I think he's doing the right thing to an extent. I mean, I think he should certainly stand up for his teammate, but I don't understand why he has to do that at the expense of one of his peers. And I mean, it's like I tell my kids all the time. It's nice to be important, but it's more important to be nice. Stop being a jerk, Russell.
Wow. I didn't expect you to drop heaters like that this early in the podcast, man.
That's beautiful.
No, thank you.
We are obviously in different phases of our lives.
I have no appreciation for people being jerks.
And if you're joining us on Facebook Live, feel free to comment on Jared's.
How do you feel about that parenting skills? Life advice. That's the best. No offense. That's the best thing you've said since we started doing this podcast.
Low bar.
The standard has been set. The standard has been set. Okay, so better question. With Russell Westbrook saying it, was that directed at Damian Lillard?
Oh, 100%.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean, he'll probably, when it gets asked at All-Star break, and, they might even be on the same team. Who knows with how this draft goes. But when they get there and they're in the same venue, people are going to ask Russell Westbrook this question again. He's probably going to say, no, I wasn't talking about Damian. He was talking about Damian Lillard.
Has anyone been snubbed more than Damian Lillard? No. And has anyone complained about it more than Damian Lillard? Probably not. So he was talking about Lillard.
That's fair. It's an accurate assessment.
Dame is asked about it. It's kind of locked in, at least for me. I've only covered the team in the past 2 seasons, but it seems like that question, that storyline has been locked in since I got here. So people are going to ask him. He's going to give great answers. So what did you think about Dame's response to Westbrook's so-called comments towards him?
I thought it was great. I liked that he talked about how he respected Russ, and so that was why the comments were disappointing. He said, of course, Paul George deserves to be here, but that doesn't mean that other people don't deserve to be here. And he said, when I've complained about not making the All-Star team in the past, I never said that someone else shouldn't be there. I always said those people, other players who were selected deserve to be there, but so do I. And I think that's the right attitude to have, is that just because a player's snubbed doesn't mean that the players that made it don't deserve to be there. And that's why I think that they should expand their rosters. Come on, Silver. Make it happen.
I like that it was a bold statement too. That he said, "You know what? He's had a chance to see me play.
That was good.
Yeah.
You know, he knows what I bring to the table. I earned it.
Well,
I liked that."
Dame wouldn't say this publicly, but the Blazers are 2-0 against the Thunder this year, and he knows that.
Yeah.
And so that when he says, he's seen me play this year, he's beaten him twice this
So
year.
you're telling him check the scoreboard.
Yeah.